Gunna will be apparently released, but he's going to be pleading guilty. Let me show y'all. Atlanta rapper Gunna. Wait, why is this here? Atlanta rapper Gunna to be released after pleading guilty to racketeering / gang charges. He's been locked up since May. Let me make this a little bit smaller that we could read it together. We're going to get back to this Kelsey stuff. This is a crazy news day. Oh, my God. Chat, I might have to motherfucking start my own news network on some shit like some InfoWars shit, man, because we doing like anchor work. I like doing commentary and shit like that, but this is like anchor work, but shit going fast. Okay, Atlanta rapper Gunna. Let me make this a little bit better. Atlanta rapper Gunna has pleaded guilty to a racketeering conspiracy charge in a sweeping indictment against rapper Young Thug, and several other alleged members of the Young Slime Life criminal street gang. Channel 2 investigative report Mark Winnie was the only television journalist in the courtroom Wednesday as Sergio Kitchens faced a judge. The rapper entered a negotiated plea known as an Alford plea. We're going to Google that. An Alford plea, in which he pled guilty on one charge because it was in his best interest while maintaining his innocence on the same charge. Nigga, what? Is that like a no contest? We're going to have to look this up. He pled guilty, but he say innocent? Hold on now, nigga. Because usually when you plead guilty, nigga, you have to almost say on the record, I am guilty. You know what I mean? Even in the plea, you almost got to, sometimes the judge will walk you through it, be like, okay, so on September 14th, you were here and you did this, that constituted as this crime, and you are with sound, knowledgeable mind, you've talked to an attorney that this is a felony, that this comes with certain stipulations, and you're pleading guilty. Anyway, we're going to Google what this is, Alford plea. While I have agreed to be always to be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear I have not made any statements, have not interviewed, have not cooperated, and have not agreed to testify or be a witness against any party in the case, and absolutely have no intention of being involved in the trial in any process in any way, the rapper said in the statement. Gunna was sentenced to 5 years with 1 year to 5 years with 1 served in prison. The 1 year sentence will be commuted to time served. The 4 year will be remain in balance, would be as a suspended sentence and be subject to special conditions, including, okay, so he's getting out now. Wow. So he got 5 years in prison, but they're doing a suspended sentence. They're giving him 1 year, but they're commuting that 1 year to about like 7 months, because it's been 7 months since he's locked up. And they're saying that the rest of the time, the other 4 years, unless he does another crime that would trigger, I think, not misdemeanor, but I think at least a felony, it would automatically trigger the sentence the rest of the 4 years. Gunna, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Listen, in the black community, I keep telling you that street culture is the culture that people go by, and ignorance runs rampant, and people look at the court of law and only see black and white, and they're going to call Gunna a snitch. I'm telling you this right now. This deal he took, which, again, I am not in no way, shape, or form saying he's cooperating. But the ignorance of the streets is going to say he's cooperating. How'd you get that deal? Keep in mind, even though he's a fucking multimillionaire with some of the best lawyers who are probably calling in their best favors for their client, you know, people are going to just use traditional street codes as they deal with law. There's no way they claim you one of the head honchos and the lieutenants in the case, but you don't have to be involved in the trial. You could just take 7 months in jail and then serve the rest at the crib. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're going to say. By the way, his statement, which I don't know if his statement, I guess he gave a statement via his lawyer to the press. His statement even addressed what he probably knows is going to be the obvious. They're going to call you a snitch. While I've agreed to be truthful, well, what does that mean? Sometimes being truthful is telling the truth on another nigga. He says, I want to make it perfectly clear I have not made any statements. So he said, I have not put anything that could jeopardize whether me or anybody else. And I have not been interviewed, and I've not cooperated, and I've not agreed to testify. Well, here's the thing, though. Here's kind of what happens when some of these pleas start to come down. If once you get a guilty plea, like he's pleading guilty to be in this criminal street gang, it helps the prosecutor because now, just perception-wise, yo, y'all can't just keep arguing YSL is a record label. Homie just pled guilty to saying YSL's a gang. What the fuck y'all talking about? So, who knows? Again, I don't know, and I would never sit here and make no type of wild accusations like that, but I keep telling y'all about the ignorance of the streets. I keep telling y'all that, you know, rap culture and black culture, well, black culture definitely is street culture, and usually ignorance rules over everything else. We're going to have to do some digging on this. I'm definitely going to do a YouTube video when I take my break. So I'm going to do a YouTube video on this, but I'm going to try to get a little bit more informed about this Alford plea. Okay? And we can read a little bit on it. Alford plea, named after Alford plea, also called a Kennedy plea in West Virginia, whereby a defendant in a criminal case does not admit to a criminal act and asserts innocence, but admits that the evidence presented by the prosecution will likely persuade a judge or jury to find a defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. By the way, it would be very interesting to know if they're offering this plea to other people, except, like, for example, Thug, or maybe they offered this to Gunna because, you know, shit, even us, perception-wise, we think that Gunna ain't really had nothing to do with too much. And in their story, they were trying to paint him to be some big lieutenant that folded up under Young Thug. But some people might be like, yo, he don't even claim Bloods. He claims some other shit. He not this, he not that. He don't be moving with these people. Like, he kind of an artist. Yeah, he throw up the signs and he got the tattoos, but he not that. And maybe they thought that, you know what, yo, at least to get a conviction, let's give him this plea. What I will say, though, for all the shit that Fonnie Willis was talking about, if you were painting YSL to be what you claimed in the indictment and in all of the things where you're saying people are making threats and this, that, and third, people have done more time for shoplifting. What the fuck was this for? You get what I mean? If you're claiming YSL is this dangerous of a gang and you're telling us bodies on bodies on bodies, choppers in the back, 100-round clips, 7 months. Okay. This might be Fonnie Willis saving face. This might be her saving face. You know, we're going to get back to the Tories thing in like 2 seconds, but shit, you don't think the DA in Tories case been trying to save face? Nigga, I believe their arm got twisted to give Kelsey an immunity deal. Yo, you know you need my testimony. You know you need it. She pump fake like, oh, I'll testify. Showed up with a bunch of lawyers. I plead the fifth. No, you can't. My lawyers told me to plead the fifth. All right, we won't prosecute you. Nah, I still plead the fifth. I need something in writing. Oh, I got one? Now we can talk. Anyway, we'll see. But yeah, this either tells me one or two things. Either the DA really, because you can't say you're trying to clean up the streets and give a nigga 7 months. That nigga must have not been doing nothing on the streets. If you really think that nigga was doing the things you're saying and paying for crimes and murders, and in this thing a cop got killed. And don't take what I'm saying like I'm advocating for Gunna to get more time. I'm just talking about what this does look like. It's either two things. Y'all really didn't think Gunna had to do with shit, so y'all gave him a really good plea. Or y'all got a whole bunch of bullshit case that Thug and Gunna, who got some of the best lawyers in the fucking country, has been pressing y'all about every time. And even though really the judge been keeping y'all from looking too crazy, at the end of the day, y'all got to get a conviction, because if these niggas take y'all to trial and spank y'all out, it's going to be bad. Even though usually in these cases, when you go to trial, it's just too much shit. And it's usually too much shit. You can't beat these cases, kind of. But also, I think about the DA, maybe they were pump faking when they say they got 300 witnesses. So you got 300 witnesses and gave this nigga 7 months. Maybe this is cap. That's all I'm saying. So I'm kind of falling back off Fonnie Willis' side. Maybe this whole thing is cap, And then I also think maybe they're just trying to load up on Thug. So they're saying, Gunna, you could go. Gunna, you could go, but Thug, we're gonna get you for everything because they just gave Thug 2 more charges. So they're down to let Thug out of jail. No, I'm saying it wrong. They're down to let Gunna out of jail immediately, but they just gave 2 other charges to, even though they're really minor charges. They gave 2 more charges to Thug. Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to settle all this. I don't know. Okay? All right. Anyway, this out for plea. Hold on. Let me see. Let me. What we probably gonna have to look up, and this is what I'm gonna try to get educated on if I indulge in longer conversations about it. So I kind of understand what the plea is. I don't know the frequency with it's given out, but not only that, I don't know if sometimes that could be a backdoor way to have a nigga cooperate. So that's what I'm gonna have to probably look at. Cooperate. Let me see. Testify. Let me see. Okay, I can't see too much from this. I'm gonna do some more digging